Creating a budget can be a daunting task, but it doesn't have to be. Here are ways to budget well. The first step to creating a budget is to determine your income.
Your income is the total amount of money you earn in a specific period.
To determine your income, add up all of the money you receive from your jobs.
If you have other sources of income, such as rental income or investment income, be sure to include those as well.
Once you have determined your income, the next step is to list all of your expenses. Your expenses are the things you spend money on each month.
You should create categories for your expenses, such as housing, transportation, food, and entertainment.
Within each category, list all of the specific expenses you have.
For example, within the housing category, you might have rental mortgage payments, property taxes, and home insurance.
Within the transportation category, you might have car payments, insurance, and gas. Once you have listed all of your expenses, the next step is to determine how much you are spending on each category. To do this, add up all of the expenses within each category.
For example, if you have 3 expenses within the housing category that total $2,000 per month, your housing expenses would be $2,000.
Next, add up all of the expenses from all of the categories to determine your total monthly expenses. Now that you know your total monthly expenses, it's time to compare them to your income. If your expenses are greater than your income, you will need to make some adjustments to your spending.
The first step to reducing your expenses is to look for areas where you can cut back.
Look at each category and see if there are any expenses that are not essential.
For example, if you have a gym membership that you rarely use, you could cancel it to save money.
Another way to reduce your expenses is to look for ways to save money on essential expenses.
For example, you could reduce your housing expenses by downsizing to a smaller apartment or house.
You could also save money on transportation by carpooling or taking public transportation. Once you have identified areas where you can reduce your expenses, it's time to set a budget for each category.
Start by prioritizing your expenses, so you know which categories are the most important.
For most people, housing and transportation are the 2 largest expenses. It's important to set a realistic budget for each category.
If you set a budget that is too low, you may not be able to stick to it. If you set a budget that is too high, you may not be able to save as much money as you would like.
Once you have set a budget for each category, you can start tracking your spending.
There are many apps and tools that can help you track your spending, or you can use a spreadsheet or a pen and paper.
The important thing is to track your spending consistently, so you know if you are sticking to your budget. As you track your spending, you may find that you need to make adjustments to your budget.
For example, if you set a budget of $200 per month for groceries but find that you are spending $300 per month, you may need to adjust your budget or find ways to reduce your grocery expenses.
It's also important to review your budget regularly to make sure it is still working for you.